Welcome to the Land, your bet sports betting show. 3 more playoff games in the NBA here on Wednesday night. We're going through the Heat and the Cavs in this one, and definitely want to make sure to subscribe to that channel because we've also got an episode up for the Magic and the Celtics, and we're looking to bring you this stuff all playoff long. So definitely recommend getting those notifications on. Don't miss any of the insights and matchups that we're bringing you to help you get those bets down in the playoffs. Another nice winning night here on Tuesday. Don't have that record finalized yet, but we are going to be up at 1, maybe 2 units once again. I'm going to show you how we did on Monday night as we made 1.8 units there and give you a chance to get into the VIP with a little discount. So that all sounds good. Give this video a like. Let's get right into it. Going over Monday's record here. Don't have everything ready to show you for Tuesday, but we did win money on Tuesday. Like I said, on Monday, we went 5-3 plus 1.8 units. We are now up 10 exactly in the playoffs since the play-in tournament as well. And then on the year, up 44.5 units in the NBA, including the regular season. Very happy to be back closer to 45, 50 units than that little tiny bad stretch down at 35. But looking at these bets here from that Monday night, Tobias Harris in the first quarter, we got to keep hitting that at 3.5. That's crazy. He's a 5.5 points per game guy in the first quarter. He takes about 4.5 shots, and he played the whole first quarter in this last game and has been playing at least about 10 minutes per first quarter. So love him in this matchup continuing forward, especially because OG's not guarding him. He's guarding Cade Cunningham. For Cade, knew we were going to have a nice bounce back for him. 30 plus points got us the plus 144. We did lose the threes, as you can see, as the first L that we took there. I don't know if we can keep going back to the threes. I kind of need to recalibrate here for playoff Cade, which I've never seen before. But now he's down to about 4 attempts per game. And my desire to take him to get 2+ was a lot more based on him taking about 6 per game when he plays the Knicks. And that hasn't been the case in the first 2. But the points are way safer anyway. So we'll keep going back to those. For Brunson on the dimes, I mean, he did everything. I'm still kicking myself for not going back to the threes. I don't think we're going to get over 2.5 or plus money like we had in this last game. We need to wait for him to go under 2.5 again on the threes for us to be able to get it back to plus money. But I love the dimes for him because I knew that they couldn't just let him go one-on-one and kill them. And they did bring a few more doubles. And he actually ran cold with the potential assists, meaning he had a lot of potential assists in that last game, about 16 of them, and still only ended with 7 dimes. You'd expect him to get closer to 8 or 9 in those situations. So happy to keep going over 6.5 if they give it to us again. Maybe over 7.5 if they give us plus money, but it'd have to be pretty good plus money for that. For Jokic, we took the 8+ dimes. Was a little bit worried that maybe he wouldn't dime up as well in the next game because he has a history of not getting assists versus the Clippers, but he did just fine. 8+ dimes, and they ended up losing that game. So we had the nice negative correlation of the Clippers covering their spread as the favorites, and the Jokic 8+ assists, which he ended with, I believe, 10 in that one. But when you get those negative correlated bets, plus 183, right? Negatively correlated, meaning we're betting on Jokic to do well, but we're also betting on his team to lose. So that was a nice look there. And then another plus money hit on Gordon, over 5.5 boards. I love 4.5 boards for him, but if we get anything plus 120 or better for over 5.5, which I doubt that we'll have in this next game because he's now gone over twice. But if we get it at that plus money for him on the boards again, happy to go right back to it. Already mentioned the Cade threes that we missed. Jalen Durant he had 24 PRA with 8 seconds left and then got a rebound and then went to the free throw line. But I still think that's a good look. The thing to take into consideration is that when Isaiah Stewart is not out there, Durant is likely to get more minutes, but at the same time, he just didn't foul in this game. And I think he's still likely to have foul trouble throughout the rest of this series. So I am looking to continue fading him, and hopefully we can get him at 25, maybe 26.5 PRA in this next one. For Russ, we got the hook there, still got the minutes, slightly fewer, but we still project about 29-30, and that's what he played in this game. We did have a little bit better of a game from Michael Porter Jr., so he did get a few more minutes. But at the end of the day, I still think we're going to see a ton of Russ as he's just way better suited to guard certain guys on the Clippers, especially James Harden when he can get out there and guard him. So we'll continue to look for that stuff for Russ for overs. But more importantly, if you do want to jump into the VIP, you know how to do it. And we still have code YOFS25. Still going to have that code available for probably another couple of days, but 50% off your first 3 months in the VIP, which is where we are doing really good work in there. Really proud of the guys and myself as well, got to be honest. If you do want to jump in, like I said, use that code 50% off. And you'll also have access to not just myself, but access to the VIP cappers who are dropping some really nice MLB bets in there. But let's go ahead and jump into what we've got here for Wednesday night. The keys here from game 1, Cleveland was a plus 15 from the three-point line. They made 5 more threes. Then did the Heat. They were plus 4 from the free throw line. So right there, you got 19 points. And then their 7 turnovers were half as many as Miami's. That's going to be a huge part of this. Now, I will say they both had the same amount of points off of turnovers. So Miami did a good job of getting back after they lost the ball, or they most likely lost the ball out of bounds as a dead ball turnover. And that's why the Cavs couldn't get any points, because their defense was meh at best anyway, but they were pretty even everywhere else outside of the turnovers, the threes, and the free throws. Like fast break points, I believe they actually might have had more. Second chance points, they definitely had more. So they're crashing the boards, and the boards were not a big advantage for the Cavs either. It's just that, honestly, nobody scored for Miami, and I still don't know where the points are going to come from. Bam led them with 22 shots, and that only got him 24 points, right? And Herro has the easiest matchup. We'll talk about him in a second, and he didn't really show out outside of the first half and from the three-point line specifically. So definitely a lot to keep in mind moving forward, that Miami's offense isn't something we should be backing too much, but there's a few players that we can bank on, and they're mostly either the starters or Davion Mitchell. So looking at the matchups here, not much is going to change, but there's some stuff we should point out. We're still going to have the same lineup here where Burks, who I put that asterisk there for you, Alec Burks, he will be starting, but Davion Mitchell comes in and takes those minutes. Probably should have thrown an asterisk under Kel'el Ware as well, or next to Kel'el Ware, because he's probably going to lose a ton of minutes to Haywood Highsmith again, which is what we saw in the last game. But the only thing I can trust for this Miami rotation is that that Herro, Wiggins, Bam are going to play a ton, and then Davion Mitchell is going to come in and also play a ton, like 34 to 36 minutes in this game again. Herro has Strus on him, who's not a bad defender by any means, but like it shouldn't be somebody that's limiting Herro the way he is. And the even more concerning thing about Herro is not only did he get limited by Strus, but Ty Jerome came in, played more minutes than Strus, shut down Herro as well. He's a pretty good defender, so I'll give him that. And then Sam Merrill, that was the one that might make you a little bit question Herro a little bit right now, is why is Sam Merrill why are all these white boys limiting you? Let's just ask the question. Tyler, why are all these white boys limiting you? That's the question. Garland is going to be on Mitchell most likely, or Alec Burks. But things do change when we get his cousin, Davion, not Donovan, Mitchell in there. Things change a little bit in how the Cavs are going to be guarding these guys. We're basically going to have like Donovan Mitchell on guys like either Haywood Highsmith or Davion Mitchell when they come in, and then Herro is going to have the same matchups as well. But the things that change are mostly like Garland and Mitchell's guys, because Wiggins probably not going to be guarded by Donovan Mitchell at that point. He's more likely to guard a guy like his cousin, Davion Mitchell. But mostly everything here stays the same. Mobley and Allen switch on Ware and Adebayo, like we said. So it doesn't really matter which one you see starting on the other one. They're going to all four of those guys really just guard each other. This is where it gets interesting, though, because although Alec Burks starts, and he starts on Max Strus, right, and we've got the Cleveland offense pulled up right now, Herro is going to be on Garland no matter what. Everybody else kind of changes, right? So Wiggins starts out on Mitchell, then he moves. I want to make sure I get this right for you guys. Once the lineups change, Wiggins moves to Strus, right? Then Haywood Highsmith, when he comes in, he kind of takes on Mobley. That moves Bam to guarding Allen, and Kel'el Ware's out, right? Last thing here is that Davion's going to come in and guard Donnie, which moves Wiggins to Strus, like I said. But what's key here is that Garland is not going to change who is guarded, right? Like Herro is going to be on Garland, and that's it. And that is advantage Garland for sure. So we're going to go into that here in just a sec. Kicking it off here with Davion Mitchell. Made a nice little graphic for you guys to show you what I want to convey about Davion with the starters in which is going to be the case here. Wiggins, Bam, Herro. When he's playing with those three guys, 14.4 points per game as long as he's getting 34 minutes. And that should be about his floor. Like maybe there's a 32, 33 sort of grace, but like 34 should be his floor or right around it, because he's just too crucial, not only at this point on defense, but I mean on offense, he's become a guy, right? Like he's over in 10 of 11 games when he's playing with the Heat and all their starters, as long as he gets that 34 minutes. And really at 32 minutes, he's still at about 13 points per game. But he's going over a ton, right? 14.4 points per game. He's even hitting 15 plus at a rate of 6 of 11 of these games. So more than 50% of the time, he's doing something that we're getting about plus 200 odds to do if you take him for 15 plus points in this matchup. And he's getting a pretty easy matchup, right? It's like cousin on cousin. Sometimes he's getting like Strus. Like he's really not getting too good of defenders on the other side of the ball. Like it's really the down low defense that you really look to for Cleveland. Like their perimeter defense is okay. It's a little bit more middle of the pack than down low, but as long as we can bank on him solidly in the mid to high 30s, there's no reason we should stop betting on Davion. Now, if you want to jump into the assists as well, he did have 20 potentials in the last game to pull down 9 assists, and he has been passing a ton with like almost as many touches per game as Bam. So there's reason to like the dimes. It's just we're getting real high with them. We're at like 6.5. We're not even really getting plus money anymore. So it's a little bit less trustworthy. And we could see guys like Tyler Herro try to take over a little bit more, especially with the easier matchups that he's had with guys, like I said, Strus, Jerome, and Sam Merrill guarding him. Looking at a Cavs player here now, I love Darius Garland on the points once again. He showed out in game one with the 27 points, Herro guarding him the whole time. So he's now played 3 games against Miami. He's gone over in 2 of 3. The consistent between the 2 overs, Herro was available, Herro guarded him. The inconsistent with the 1 under, Herro didn't play in that game, and Davion Mitchell was the guy guarding him, along with some Terry Rozier. Remember that guy? Well, now we're talking about Herro still guarding him. I don't know why they're going to switch anything up. It's not like you'd rather have Herro on Donnie Mitchell, or you're now talking about him having to guard a bigger guy. Not something that you want for Tyler Herro. And you're trying to hide him as much as possible, to be honest. But if you look at the way that he played against Tyler Herro in game 1 specifically, you can look at how Garland did during the minutes where Tyler Herro was considered the primary defender. And in those 11 minutes of offense for the Cavs, where Tyler Herro was the primary defender on this dude, 3 minutes, he had 11 points. 11 points in 3 minutes of offense, probably like, let's call it like 8-ish, 9 to maybe 10 possessions that this Cavs team had in that time frame. And in those roughly 10, he scored 11 points, right? So that tells you how efficient he is when Tyler Herro is guarding him. He did have a few other guys switch onto him, but the key here for the most part is it's not Davion Mitchell guarding him. Davion is on Donnie, and Donnie's pretty unstoppable, so I'm not going to fade him just because Davion's on him, but it does help Darius that Davion's not guarding him. So as long as we keep getting Darius with the Tyler Herro matchup, he should be good for like 20 to 25 points consistently. Speaking of Herro, 2.5 threes, still good for him. We hit this in the last game, and we're getting the same odds back. Now, the thing that would scare you is the first 2 games, he went 4 for 9 and 5 for 10 when he played this Cavs squad. That led me to really like him to get 3 for about even money, right? About minus 106, what we got last game. Well, he only took 6 in this game, and he made 3 in the first half. So we had a nice first half cash with him, but he was sizzling in that first half. In the second half, not quite as much, and only took, I believe, 1 in that second half. So 3 for 6, no, I don't love it if he only takes 6. But I'm going to bank on him continuing to go back to 9 to 10 because, once again, his matchup isn't different, man. He's still got the same dudes on him. He's got Strus, Jerome, Merrill. White is the consistent thing between all 3 of those guys. It's escaping me, but there's something about them that is the same, and Tyler Herro can't guard them. So whatever. It's too tough at this point, too. I mentioned that a minute ago, to get those drives. And he's not getting into the lane. He's not getting easy looks at the basket. Everybody's aware that he wants to get that floater up because he's had a ton of drives. Really, towards the end of the season, in both the play-in games, he drove the ball like 17, 18 times per game to the bucket. Well, Cleveland's ready for that. They're not going to be giving up the float game from the extended paint, right? He's going to be met pretty quickly. Once he gets anywhere inside the mid-range, he's going to be met by at least 1, if not 2, shot blockers. So I think he's going to continue to have to rely on threes and probably do it a little bit more in this game after realizing that the 2-pointers just were not there for him in game 1. If you're one of those people who is just scrolling through and not listening to what I'm saying, then you're probably going to go over on Max Strus. But that's not what I would be doing. I like a fade of Strus on the rebounds and assists in this game. A couple of reasons. One, I don't know that he's ripe for minutes. Like he played 21 minutes in this last game. I don't believe he had too much foul trouble. I would have to double check. I'm sure someone in the comments will let me know. But the 21 points was a lot more based on, 21 minutes was a lot more based on, I believe, Ty Jerome and his ability to guard Herro. Plus, he was hot, right, from on offense as well. And if Ty Jerome is providing that much offense for them, his ability on defense should keep him out there for a decent amount of time. But for Strus, he went cleanly under this in all 3. And again, his primary matchup here is Tyler Herro. That's the guy that he's responsible for guarding. And as a result of having to guard Herro, he's pretty out of position for the boards as much as anything, right? And then when it comes to the assists, like this Miami team is going to leave spot up shooters open. That's what Max Strus is. So they're leaving guys like Strus open more so than they are ball handlers like Donnie Mitchell or Darius Garland. Those guys get a little bit more of a double team. They try to force the ball out of those guys' hands a little bit. Doesn't work, as we saw in game 1, but it's what they try to do. And that does leave guys like Max Strus a little bit more open for the points, but it also doesn't put him in position to dime up, right? Because he's going to be open. Why would you pass at that point? You're out there to do one thing on offense. That is go ahead and make sure you hit those threes. So I don't think the assist will be there for him for that reason. And this number is just a little bit high, whereas we're not getting bad odds. Like we're getting pretty good juice here to go under on Strus RA. And he's done that in 8 of 11 with the starters that are going to be out there. He's averaging 6.2. He's gone under in 8 of 11. And again, the minutes are in jeopardy for him because Ty Jerome, is a little bit better of a defender than is Max Strus, especially for a guy like Tyler Herro, where Ty Jerome's just so physical at that point with him and scrappy. So we should be looking at a few more minutes for him. Sam Merrill even cutting into Strus's minutes. He did a great job on Herro. And so Max Strus shouldn't be expected to be getting 7 rebounds and assists in this one. All right, hopefully we are going to have time for an episode for the Warriors and the Rockets, but at the very least, make sure you subscribe to that channel. Give this video a like if you're getting anything out of it as well, so you don't miss out on the Orlando and the Boston game. And if you do want to jump into the VIP, make sure you don't miss a single pick that I'm actually betting. These are all the bets that I'd hope to get down tomorrow morning, but I haven't bet anything just yet. If you do want to get all those bets, make sure you jump into the VIP. The link to that VIP is in the description of the video. It's at wap.com, and you can get 50% off if you do use this code right here, YOFS25, for the first 3 months of that VIP. So hope to see y'all in there. And until I do, happy betting.